bacteria. That's chapter 4, right?
Yeah.
That's what we're going to be doing today. So that I'm happy if you're confused.
Why?
Yeah, because I mean we haven't treated it as a class. Oh, is somebody still traveling in class? Or are we in a bus thinking we're in a class? Maybe it's a mobile class, roaming around and then. Okay, so if you are confused about something you haven't done in class, that is understandable.
Oh, you're talking about like.
Yeah, previous chapters, or even if you are confused here, you have a specific thing you are confused about. Yeah, we can maybe mention it real quick and go. But sometimes, if you are confused about certain things, we always have people come to say, "Oh, I wanted to ask it, but it's fine because whilst we're going on, you answered my question." So that is kind of okay. But last week you took quizzes, so you should know whether you were okay or not. Did you encounter any difficulty in the quizzes?
Some were confusing, but yeah.
But we are on point. Okay, that's the most important thing. Alright, so today we are doing how many chapters? 2. And they are a little bit long, but not too long. Anatomy and physiology. I think we mentioned this a little bit last week. And we said we were going to be coming back to chapter 2 when we start there. That's what I said. Chapter 2 was something that you had to go through like at least once or twice a week. Okay. Welcome. I think it will be fair we just mention your names to us, the new people. Those who are new. We did introduction last week. So for the purpose of that start, my name is James.
Yeah, I'm Jamila.
Who?
Yeah.
You are
Jamila.
Jamila?
Yes.
Jamila or Jamila?
Jamila.
Jamila. Okay, so it's like my name. It start with J?
J-A.
Oh, okay. Alright. So we are close. Yes.
Me?
Uh-huh.
Francisca.
Francisca, always keep it down. Francisca or Siska?
Francisca.
Okay. Alright. C-A?
Yes.
Alright. Francisca. Alright.
Shaniqua.
Sinequa. Okay. I'll learn them whilst we go on. First day, yes. I always find it difficult. So today, last week, what did you say was the reason why we had to do anatomy and physiology, even though we're not in the room, we're not the doctors or surgical techs or the nurses? Why was the reason that we needed to study anatomy and physiology?
Because we need to know what the instruments are for. Like, for what body part.
Okay. Are you saying the same thing? Okay. Anybody with a different idea?
Yeah, because when they ask for something, we have to know where it's going to do.
Alright. So we said the only way we can relate our instrument or can foresee or predict what surgeons may need for surgery is, will be fair, you know some instruments that pertains to the body parts. So knowing the body parts is good, and at the same time, some of the surgical procedures are named or just relate to the body parts that they are operating. So, for example, if we are doing a colectomy, what body part are we talking about here? Colon. What is a colon?
Ribs.
Colon. Large intestines. So we are talking about intestines. So you know kind of trace that could go there. If we are doing CABG, what procedure is that going to be?
The heart.
Heart. And if you are doing open reduction internal section, what are we doing? What kind of procedure is that?
Bone.
Bone. So bone is known as what? Orthopedic. Orthopedic or what? It's kind of pertains to what? The skeletal system. Alright. So you knowing this, and if you go to Central Service Department, we group our trays according to services. So when they call for something and you know that this is something that has to do with UIN, you don't go to auto and be looking for that. That is when everything is done right. the system are right, and the people know what they're doing. Because if the people don't know what they're doing, or people just do things anyhow, that even make our work more difficult. Because where you know the stuff is, you go there and it's not there. And now maybe you have to now scan through the whole storage, and you can see if there is for like an emergency case. You see how that will be tiring and frustrating. You run around and phone calls. And phone calls is something central you have to learn, and that's why we learning communication as well. Know how to communicate. Because the number of phone calls we receive in a day cannot be counted. You can't. People call us when they need stuff. People call us when they don't know what they want. People call us when things don't even relate to us. And people call us when they have something and they don't know what to do with it. That's central for you. If you go to the hospital, even the patient floor on that, they have something, they don't know what that is, they don't know where to throw that out, they don't know where to dump it, they call central.
So
everybody calls central.
Anybody can answer the phone if you are in the central
yes.
service?
If you're in the central service department, you can answer phone. But sometimes, depending on our scope of practice in the department, we can have weekly or daily assignments for everyone. So, if I am the director, I have you. Yes, when you come in, I can say, okay, today this is going to be the game plan. You have to stay in the contamination area. You have to be on trace. You have to be on consignment or donor trace. You have to do maybe sterilization, and maybe you have to do what pick cases for the next day. Yes. So when we have that, and maybe you have to answer phones. So whatever they need now, pertaining to maybe add-ons that they may be doing, emergency cases, and then answering everybody, serving everybody around the hospital. You may have to handle that because they have to call you when they need stuff, and you have to be able to help. So when we have that as a daily assignment, then you know when a phone call is there, and then you are in decon, you don't worry yourself taking out your PPE to go and answer phone because there's somebody already on the phone. Sometimes you just have to cover up. Maybe when she leaves for her lunch break, somebody may have to cover up. That is all. But anybody at all should be capable of answering and serving our customers. Are we okay? All right. So let's see the objectives of chapter 3. Any questions so far? Alright, so chapter learning objectives. We want to review the structure, function, activities, and role of cells, tissues, and organs in the body. We identify and describe the structure and roles of each major body system. Then we look at common surgical procedures that involve each system. So that is the basic bottom line. Whatever body system we take, we'll give a brief description about it, what it's used for, or what is the function, and then we'll look at what surgical procedure pertaining to that body part. So we are going to be talking about chapter 2 again as we go along. Alright? So we're going to be looking at basically this body system. How many systems do we have in the body? Before we start, how many systems? Anatomy and physiology. How many systems do we have in the human body? 9. Did you just count those there?
Yeah.
That might not be accurate. How many do we have? Apart from 9, do anybody have any outside knowledge? Not just this one.
A lot.
What? How can you quantify? I didn't ask whether many or small. If you say a lot, you didn't answer my question yet. How many? Specifics. 12? Close. We have about 11 body systems in human beings. 11. But for the purpose of our study here, we want to kind of fuse some of them and to make life more easier for us. Look at these ones here. You see here, urinary and excretory system. These are two different systems put together. Then when you come down to circulatory system, we're also going to be having the lymphatic system infused here. So if we take lymphatic system out, we take excretory system out, how many are we going to have? 11. So we have about 11. We're going to be looking at it real quick. So what is a cell? Cell. What we have is cell.
Basic unit of life.
It's located by microscope.
Okay. So we are saying so many things.
They
The
are the
basic living unit of life. Basic living unit of life. Actually, when you look at it from the down, you have like molecules, like some structures that come together to form a cell. But we actually look at it from the cell level, because that is where the functions start. Alright, so they are living or basic living units of life. In other words, they are the building blocks. Without cells, nothing else can what? Can exist. Alright? So what more can we say? Somebody said they are very small, and that is why we say what? They are macroscopic. Macroscopic in the sense that we can see them with a naked eye. We need a microscope to be able to what? See cells. Alright? Even though as tiny as they are not what? Just single structure entity. They also have so many parts that make up cells. We are going to be looking at that. Okay? Okay, so they are the basic living units of life. They vary in size, shape, and what? Function, depending on the part of the body they are located. And they are small, so macroscopic, like somebody just said. Okay, and within each cell are still smaller structures. This is what I was saying. Even though they are small, they cannot be seen. We need a microscope to see them. It doesn't mean they're just individualized items. They still have so many parts. Alright, so let's see the parts that pertain to cells. So what is the function of a cell before we even go on? What's the function of cell? Some of those are even embedded in the definition we gave.
Respiration.
Yes, cellular respiration, yes. They involve nutrition,
energy production,
yes, and being the building blocks. So if we look at the hierarchy, we have cells here. Then cells will make up what? Tissue. Then tissue will make up what? Organs. Then organs will make up what?
Systems.
Then system will make up what? Huh? Muscle. Human being. So how about if it's not a human being? Huh? Skeleton. Yes. What from system? Where do we go? Oh, that's the end.
Reproduction.
Huh?
I think that's it.
That's it. So from the system, we get what is called organism. Organism, yes, it could be a human being, it can be an animal, it can even be a plant. So that's why I said, how about if it's not a human being? Because when we talk about cells, we're talking about living cells. We are not just limiting ourselves to what? Human cells. Alright? So, organism could be the human being, it can be an animal, or anything that exists, living. So living cells come only from what? Other living cells. So the living tissue, what do you call it? Cells can also what? Reproduce or duplicate. That is what we call what? What is the process called? Cells reproduce by duplication and division into two what? New cells. That reproduction process is called what? I didn't hear you.
Binary fission.
Binary fission? How many of us agree that it's binary fission? Binary fission. Is that true? Binary fission will have to do with bacterial cells. Bacterial cells. Has anybody ever heard of mitosis?
No.
You never heard of mitosis? How about meiosis?
Yes.
You have meiosis without mitosis? Is it too hard here or what?
Yeah, it is.
So do you think we have to put on the AC?
Yes.
Hey.
Yes, that'll be nice, thanks.
Okay, let me reduce the temperature on this one. Okay, let's give it some minutes and see where it will go down. If not, then we'll have to put on the AC. Yes, so meiosis or mitosis, we have two different types of cells. Alright? When it comes to the human cells. We have the gonad cells that have to do with what? The human reproductive system. And then we have somatic cells that do not involve in the reproduction. So the functions of cells sometimes is for what? For body repairs. Alright, so let's say you get a cut here, you get your tissue injured. How do you get a tissue repaired? We get the cells to duplicate, to form more tissue, and to repair tissue. Alright? Then we have other cells that have to do with reproduction, the reproductive system. How we are made, how we make babies, how we make small offspring. That's it. So it's called what? Mitosis or meiosis when it comes to what? The gonad cells. Okay, so let's see. These are the processes involved in mitosis. Alright? You can read this for yourself. You're not going through detail in this. So we have first of all interphase. Then the second phase will be what? The prophase. Going to what? Prometaphase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase, and cytokinesis. So these are the processes that cells or mitosis go through. So you see here, they have not even thought of what? Dividing yet. Getting there, you see the centromere getting to the far end. Then some join here,